roll film. Stick with me here because what I just experienced from a seed I planted 13 days ago when I sat right here. I just listened to one of my videos from before I went up to Lake Superior, which was just epic. And I listened to my intentions in that video, and I'm going to put this video in the description. This is life-changing stuff. This will change your life. It'll change how you look at yourself and your life. Because that's what I'm all about. I'm all about sharing how I am changing the perspective of myself to live a better life. And that's the key. That is everything. And what I found when I was up in Lake Superior is that I was doing things that I used to do as a child. But this guy, we'll just call him Madison Flats. Protect the innocent. It's just a joke. His name's Dan. He's a great guy, Dan Clark. I met him in Nashville earlier this summer, and we hit it off pretty well. And I've got a really great book started about this journey, what I've learned. And I'm talking climbing down cliffs in the dark with a little headlamp on and going down to Lake Superior to sit on the rocks and look at the stars. And I gotta tell you, just the ability to do that alone really brought my awareness to that I am totally, completely abundant. And I just had a pretty big awakening right before I started filming here, and a great emotional release of some childhood pain. What it taught me, from climbing down the hills and biking 5 miles and hiking in the woods and going out on the boat doing some fishing and exploring and rock hunting and just taking drives and kayaking and going to the Apostle Islands and the sea caves. And when I got out of there, it was a beautiful daylight today. We were nice and sunburned there on Labor Day, and Lake Superior was just sheets of glass, waves of glass. She was very open and receptive. And when I got back from the kayak trip, I pulled up on shore, and there's a bunch of great videos. I'll try and tag those too, and some reels of just really cool stuff I saw. But anyways, when I got up on shore, I was no longer afraid of like the coldness of the water, the shock of it, because we had gone swimming a few times and jumped in the sauna a few days before, and just really allowing myself to open to what Lake Superior is. It's a super healing place. The crystals and the energy there, and the ancient energy, and whatever else happened there. It's just a very authentic place. I even stayed in this authentic cabin with an old fieldstone fireplace, and old plumbing, and shower outside in the shower house. Just really roots, back to the roots, unwinding our roots. And so I'm writing a book about this experience and breaking it up into chapters on what we did. When I was riding the bike, it was fine going down the hill 2.5 miles coasting. But for not having much physical exercise in the last however many years, 7, 8 years, or whatever, it showed me I need to get moving. And it also showed me what I'm capable of, because when I started pedaling back up the hill and I was breathing heavy and my heart's pounding and my legs are burning And I stopped and I'm like, oh, I'm looking at this like, how am I ever going to get all the way to the top of the hill? And something inside me shifted. And I got on the bike, I adjusted the seat, I got going. And everything that I've been studying and learning, or allowing myself to recall, because we have perfect memories. We're born with all this knowledge. We just don't realize it. Something inside me clicked, and I focused on just like a foot in front of the tire. And I said to myself, it's mind over matter. Because these physical vessels that we're in are really instruments of the mind. I know this because I keep showing it to myself with being able to lay down drums on one of my songs I wrote after 2.5 months here on like Earth time. That's quick. But for me, learning drums was this whole worldly experience of this vortex that I was able to pull into me, and I allowed myself to be an instrument of my mind. And I think that's how I'm able to paint, and I know so. So anyways, back to the bike. Uphill it was. And I said to myself, before you know it, you're going to have a grin on your face, pulling up to your buddy's truck, doing this. And it was almost instantaneous. I was up that hill, no brakes. I didn't stop again. I just kept going, picked the right gear where I was at, and I allowed my body to be an instrument of my mind. And Bob Proctor talked about this a lot. And all the fellas he studied with, Earl Nightingale and Ray Stanford, and too many for me to recall at this moment because I'm kind of channeling my own thing and what I'm learning and what I'm going through right now. And that is getting back to the child, the inner child. See, all the trauma comes from 0 to 7. And then we attract the rest along the way because that is our mindset. Interesting. I'm having more realizations as I speak here, which is good. This tells me that I'm open, that I don't have any energetic blockages, and I'm tapped into the divine right now. I'm an instrument of the divine in the mind because it's like a Wi-Fi signal. So the inner child is key. Here comes my dumpster analogy. Big one. Semis of your life. That's what I got rid of. And check out that video from 13 days ago, because that was before I decided to get rid of everything in my basement. So I gave away all my tools, everything from my past. I literally came home to my dusty house bare, a blank canvas. There was some stuff here. The guys came back. These guys were sent to me by the divine. It would have cost me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to get all this stuff cleaned up and out of here, because I'm going to turn this place into a destination studio, art studio, music studio, organic gardening, and unwind our roots. You know what I'm saying? Because it's time. What's up, Button? Button says it's time. I know we got to start TikTok over again. It's all right. It's for the better. Yeah. Anyways, the inner child is the key. So me doing these things with my buddy Dan, climb down cliffs, biking, kayaking in Lake Superior. Oh, it's deep, it's big. It was the most blissful, glorious thing that I've experienced in a long time. Just by being, And this trip, if you booked it and booked, kayak tours and all this stuff I did, it probably cost you 10 grand. And this came to me, it just came to me. All I had to do was show up and receive it. And that allowed me to open and help people around me and meet people I meet around me and share what we learn on these journeys to help ourselves enlighten ourselves. Not to sit and play victim. We cannot do it no more. You can't be a victim. You're just going to stay there. Seeking justice is not going to change your life. The only thing that's going to change your life is you from the inside out. When you can look in the mirror with pure love and happiness and joy and bliss with what you see, meaning yourself, nothing's going to change. I know because I've already tried all the other ways. They didn't work. And there's no reason to tell war stories. It's old news. It doesn't exist. Pull your energy back from that stuff. Release it. My buddy Dan did a massive release up there. We had a fire the first night, and he burned some things, and so did I. And I tell you what, watching that video from 13 days ago to now, I jumped timelines. I came home to a new life. I didn't come home to a place of cluttered memories in the past. I came home to a brand new house. That is a gift. That is such a gift. And all that stuff I was holding on to is going to good use. And that is also a gift. It's all about being you. It's all about allowing yourself to be yourself. Whatever that is for you. It's different for everybody. I'm here to tell you it's a clean slate right now. And it took me a bit to realize this. It took me a lot bit. But it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and woulda, coulda, shoulda. I'm going to bask in the goodness of it. And really sit here and realize that this brand new life is here waiting for me to move towards it, to start putting it together. Get rid of everything. You don't need it. We don't need all this storage. We don't need pictures. You know, I've done it once. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to dump all these pictures off because that's just holding on to the past. There's nothing there. We're either consuming or creating. And that's it. So, what I learned and what this book is about true recovery. You get down to the core of you, which is that inner child, and you allow that to heal. Oh, and here's something really kick-ass. Come here, button. When I came home, just anxious to see the basement clean, there was one picture, face down, and I picked it up, and it was a picture of me at about 2 months old. No, I'm sorry, 2 years. Year and a half, too, something like that. And that was that circle of life that I came back to the inner child. And I thanked him for all the hell that he had gone through for me to get here today, to tell you this. Think about that. It's time to cut the distractions. It's time to cut the dopamine hits, the instant gratifications. I have become extremely aware of that because that costs us energy, our internal energy. That's our mojo, man. That's our life force energy. We need to respect that and appreciate it. Because that's how you can do cool stuff like play the drums in a few months like you did your whole life. I mean, this stuff is real. I'm living proof. And I don't say that in a egotistical way. I say that in a way of love and appreciation for what I've allowed myself to overcome and let go of, and know that it doesn't exist. I mean, it just doesn't. I understand that whatever did happen was divinely orchestrated by what I attracted into my life, with how I looked at things, how I looked at myself, how I felt about myself, what I thought life was, the picture that I held in my mind, this prison that I created around myself and the stones, and I built this really awesome castle right around myself, right around my heart. Which reminds me, I was divinely called to a crystal store up in Bayfield, Wisconsin, which is called Crystalline Healing. And I met two beautiful souls up there that forever changed my heart and my mind and helped me grow. And I'm just realizing this now as I talk about the heart of stone. That's opening this up is releasing the pain. It's releasing the past. It's releasing everything. It opens all your chakra points up, your energy points. The reason people drop dead is because they're holding on to stuff and holding on and compressing, and that heart is trying to, like, pump the blood, but you're not allowing it to. We can heal ourselves. We can reprogram our subconscious mind like a computer. We are highly, highly, highly intelligent beings. You are the key to everything. You are the love of your life. You're the happiness. You're the aha moments. And I know right now, I know today, as I just, my heart feels good. It just, I have this beautiful energy rising. Rightfully so. Just got done with the full moon in Pisces, with the eclipse. And it is time to let go and get ready for these new beginnings that are here. The life you want is right in front of you. It's in the mirror. That's the only work that you need to do. And you don't need to work your ass off. You just need to allow. I took my bike in today to get serviced. Going in this place that I used to go to when I was a kid. And there's a guy working there that was a kid I hung out with in high school, in grade school. It was just like, boom, what's up, and talking about the bike. And he's like, all right, a couple days I'll be done, this amount of money. I'm like, sweet, man. But that connection back to the childhood, it's all about letting that inner child out. That's the magic. All these kids have all these ideas and we're all telling them, nah, it's just your imagination. Yeah, it is your imagination. That's how you create your life, is your imagination. Because when kids are in these high vibing energies, just like a puppy that I got to hang out with this weekend, a year-old puppy, big dog, loving dog, heart wide open, big sticks, running, knocking everything, not a care in the world, would go over to the campground and find little kids for him to throw sticks because they're all vibing high. We dimmed our light. We dimmed it till I couldn't take it anymore. And I chose to go within. I didn't really understand what that meant when I stopped poisoning the shit out of myself. But I understand it today. And these things that I thought were painful were just pain I was holding in my body. And it feels good to cry them out, or to write them out, or to paint them out, or a 35-minute guitar solo till you can't hear, get it out, or a bike ride, which I'm going to start doing, and I'm grateful for that. You hold the power. You hold the key, the compass, the map, the canvas, the brushes, the media, the color, everything. It never felt so good just to be. I think that's going to be a really great song I'm going to write here. Choose yourself. Allow yourself what you need. This is a totally abundant universe that we live in. And pay attention to the signs. If you start seeing signs like numbers, or animals, or cardinals, or monarch butterflies, I mean, pay attention to that stuff. It's a Wi-Fi signal. It's all connected. Well, there's a cardinal. It's connected. There's a crow. Let me tell you about the raccoons. They figured out my cat window. And they had a party, a respectable one. And I thought they were gone when I got home. But they weren't. The next morning when I woke up, I heard the door open and the thud. But I heard the wrinkling of the package of food. And I'm like, no, those dishes are full. There's something's not right. So my big cat Diesel was on my bed, and he jumped up like a Rottweiler, and he flew down the stairs, and he chased the raccoons out of the house. He got 2 of them out, and then I think Mama was still in, and he was hissing and screaming at her, and I opened the door, and I backed up, trying to get him to back off because she was crying. She just wanted to go out, the raccoon. So I got the cat, and we went upstairs. I put him in the room, and she was gone. So I closed up, and I went back to bed. A couple hours later, I get up, I'm having coffee, and she's sitting by the door. I'm like, all right. So I let the raccoon back out. But anyways, that just reminded me of childlike, little kids would like imagine stuff like that. So that's probably why these animals are coming into my life, because I have deer all around here. They had their babies here this year and whatever. Allow yourself to be who you want to be. Whatever that is. And your mind is your business. For real. Much love.